I want everybody to say, talk to me then, what? 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 Lady, talk to me then, what? Talk to me then, what?
Right, welcome to today's episode. Today it's a topic that it took me a long time to believe this, but obviously based on experiences, because a lot of lessons you learn them the hard way, but also you learn them through experiences. Now, whether they're bad or good experiences, they are still experiences. So that's why I didn't specify you learn them through bad or good experiences, right? And then obviously noticing what happens out there in the world. Fortunately, for the geniuses who came up with social media, we're able to see what happens all over the world, and we don't just pay attention to what's close to us, right? But the thing is as well, I mean, it depends on what exactly you're looking for. So sometimes you just get fed what the algorithm feeds you. And then sometimes you actually or actively search for something that you want to know about. So, I mean, there's a lot of things. Again, like I said, there's a lot of things I want to talk about. Like, there's a lot of things I want to talk about. But obviously, it's going to be in different episodes. So, it's just that today it quickly came to my attention how a beautiful concept can lead to something that is either a literal life or death situation or life and death thing. Let me put it like that, thing. Or it'll lead to doing something you really, really, really don't want to do. And it's unfortunate that it's fair to a certain extent, but it's also unfortunate that a lot of people can actually, or will actually rather, relate with what I'm about to talk about. Love is a beautiful concept. It's a beautiful concept, and let me just start with the obvious ones. Love is a beautiful concept when it comes to friendships, right? Now, before you, because I know some of you love using these rage bait and clickbait words, pause. I mean, it's kind of strange, like, just to deviate a little bit, just to, I find it kind of strange that I will talk about something and then suddenly you instantly think of something that's gay. Whose fault is that? Why should I say pause when I'm talking about something that has nothing to do with being gay? It's not my fault that you think you have that image in your mind and, oh, hey, whoa, before we carry on, is this what you want to talk about? Like, is this what you're talking about? It's your fault, it's not my fault. I'm not talking about something that's gay. By the way, I have no problem with gay people. There's gonna be an episode on that. Don't worry about it. But for now, I don't have anything against gay people. Now, back to the topic. Love is a beautiful concept. Friendship, saying you love your friends, is a beautiful thing, because that means, well, if you're going to refer to the concept, you're actually going to do anything for your friends. Like, you love them that much that you're going to do anything for them. And when I'm saying love that much, I mean I'm actually including tough love on top of that, right? So now you're going to ask yourself my perspective on different things. Just hold on, hold on. When it comes to friendship, love is a beautiful concept. When it comes to relationships, love is a beautiful concept. Now, obviously, relationships, the obvious relationships, but also even with your family, it's a beautiful concept. The concept of love is a beautiful concept when you think about it. Not just basing it on a feeling, but the concept of love, saying, I love you, is a beautiful concept, right? Because when you're saying, I love you, it's no longer a feeling, it's like a verb when you're saying it, right? This is the problem I have with this concept. The problem I have with this concept, or no, actually, let me correct myself. The problem with the way this concept is being used is what I have a problem with. Because there's no longer an action tied to it. You're not actively doing something to justify the feeling. When you're saying, I love you, you're just saying, this is how I am feeling about you. Not using love as like a verb. It's not a verb, but you get what I'm saying. It's no longer a verb, like I love you. I love doing, no, wrong example. But saying I love you. Like you can tell that there's gonna be some sort of action tied to it. But now, it's no longer there. Now it's just a feeling that you can disregard at any point in time. Because they're feelings. Right now, I'm feeling like this. Maybe a minute later, I'm going to be pissed off. And maybe a minute later, or 2 minutes later, I'm going to be so happy, like I just received the biggest thing I've ever wished for. It's a feeling, right? So, when I think about this concept of love, initially, you would think this person loves me, so this person is going to be loyal to me. Now, that's another word that's not being used appropriately. And I'm saying that because when you look at how people love each other, or when you look at how genders love each other, like how men treat love versus how women treat love, right? I'm not going to dive deep into daughter, father, mother, son, boyfriend, girlfriend. No. Just looking at it from a male's perspective and a female's perspective. In order for you to understand the concept, you need to go back into how it was before. And that's where you lose a lot of people, by the way. The people of this generation. I don't want to call them this weird name, like this. I know they have their name. Some of them are proud of it, and some of them are not proud of it. I really don't care. But the people of this generation, when you refer back to history of how people would actually show their love for you, to them it's either weird or it's too personal for them. So if you're going to tie it back to evolution, you think to yourself, for a male, when they say I love you, to them it's tied in an action. They actually mean it when they say, I will do anything for you because I love you. Whether it's friendship, family, or relationship. Right? And then with women, Of course, they are emotional beings. And that's the beauty of them, by the way. Like, that's a beautiful thing, by the way. You would think to yourself, so long as I keep her in a state where she constantly feels the need to love me, then I'm going to get the most out of her in a good way. Right? But there was also a certain type of action tied to it, to a certain extent. Not so much as men, but to a certain extent. As long as you still make them feel loved. Right? So obviously, with the powers that be, there's obviously been a lot of this. Why? We never know. Like, we never know why these things happen. But somehow they just happen, and somehow we find ourselves believing it. But my point is, I feel like if we were to bring back, of which it's close to impossible now, us believing in love as a concept, then a lot of problems would be fixed in this world, to be quite honest. Because a lot of things that you do for the person that you love end up leading to you doing things that are not only going to make them love you more, but that are going to boost your ego. Things that you get to show off. Hey, I did this because I love you. Or I can do this to show how much I love you. For both perspectives, male and female. Excuse me. So, if we were to go back to the concept of love as the concept that it was supposed to be, a lot of problems would be fixed. Right? Now, it leads me to the other part of this episode, or this topic rather. That, of course, I don't know how many times I've said this, but of course, we know that there is an agenda to it, why things are like this. The reason why I keep losing faith, not only in the concept of love, but even the feeling of love, is because somewhere along the line it leads to a humiliation ritual. Every single time. And it only favors one particular being. Every single time. I can't think of a time where there was a certain humiliation ritual that is done by a woman that actually a man can say, yes, thank God. Never, ever. I can't think of one. And please, if maybe I'm being too, ignorant, if you think I'm ignorant, please comment in the go there to the comments and tell me, which humiliation ritual do you know was done by a woman for the benefit of the man? Because all these humiliation rituals are done by the men. Every single time. Every single time. I just don't understand, what is it about these humiliation rituals? For instance, going down on one knee as a man. I don't understand why you're going down on one knee. Of course, there's a lot of things tied to that, right? The how it started, the history of it. Yes, I know all about it. But still, why do we feel the need to go down on one knee? Because I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to be accepting the woman into my family. She is no longer in that family. per se. I mean, she's obviously still part of the family she was born into, but she is no longer associated with that family. She is now associated with my family, or rather, she's now associated with the family we are about to build, right? And of course, the audience that uses the words, I know there's a word for it that they're going to use, which they don't even understand the meaning of it, right? So you can say it anyway, I really don't care. As a man, I'm accepting a woman into my family because her father, I'm talking about marriage now, her father is giving her hand to me. The father is basically saying, I trust you enough to take care of my daughter the same way I have been taking care of her, or I trust you enough to be better and treat my daughter way better than I did as a father. Right? So why am I going down on one knee then? Why? Just thinking about that concept and everything tied to it, why am I the one going down on one knee? Like, I keep finding it funny why women keep saying, I am the prize, I am the prize, I am the prize. You may be the prize when it comes to the bedroom activity, the midnight activity. You may be the prize for that and that alone. But if you want to get this, I know I don't have anything on this, but you know what I mean. If you want to get something that's going to shine here, do you have the power to say, I am the prize? Do you have the privilege? Do you have the honor of saying that? No, because we are the ones who put that thing on your finger. So why am I bowing down to you? It doesn't make sense. Humiliation ritual. There's so many humiliation rituals, so many I can think of, but I just wanted to use this one because this one is probably the one that is more controversial than the other humiliation rituals you go through. And I'm not picking it because I want to be controversial. No, I'm picking it because I want you to understand my point of view regarding this topic. I don't get how such a beautiful concept leads to one being going through a humiliation ritual. It doesn't make sense to me. But again, the powers that be are responsible for this. So I really hope that from this topic alone, right? And I do understand that I'm going to be here for a long time. There are going to be some topics that we're going to revisit, and there's going to be times where you're going to comment and maybe you want another perspective, or maybe you didn't understand or what. Feel free to comment. I'm always available on the comments, but it really came to my mind that such a beautiful thing is turned into a humiliation ritual. And after performing that humiliation ritual, you still don't even get the benefits. Instead, you keep getting humiliated. So many examples right now. The Curry situation, Steph Curry and his wife. That situation. We had a red table situation, the entanglement situation. We had so many situations where it's always one being going through humiliation ritual, and still they don't even get the benefits for it. It just beats me. It beats me. And the problem is, so long as you are against this type of thing, somehow you're crazy for pointing it out. Somehow. something that's realistic and reality. Somehow, you are crazy for pointing it out and talking about it. See you next episode.
I want everybody to say, talk to me, Ntenjwa.